Well, this is Brother Peter with tidbits from the Word. For the last couple of sessions, we've been talking about a little thing called grief. Grief is not a little thing. Grief is a big thing. Grief is something that comes only into the heart. Grief is not something that another person can remove from you. Grief is something you have and have to go through yourself. But when you get through to the other side, it's a precious thing to know that you've been able to go through it. Now I say go through it yourself, I mean you have to have God in your heart to go through it with you. If you try to go through it alone, it'll kill you. And so here, my daddy went on and he left his own epitaph. He wrote it himself. He said, "Don't grieve for me, I am free." What a wonderful thing, and I know my daddy is free. And I knew my daddy, and I know he meant what he said and said what he meant. And I know he lived what he said. I've seen God do miracles in his life. I've seen things, I've seen the Red Sea part. I've seen the River of Jordan stand out. I've seen things in my life with my daddy that many a man hadn't had the opportunity to see, and I feel sad for them that they haven't. But listen to this. He said, "Don't grieve for me, I'm free. I followed a path that God laid for me. I took his hand when I heard him call. I turned my back and left it all. I could not stay another day." Now listen to, this is my dad talking. He was talking like a man that was in his right mind, and he's factual, and he knows what he's saying, and he studied the Bible. My dad probably read the Bible through more times than any man I know personally alive. And by the way, went to college when he was 70 years old and graduated with top honors in Old Testament. All right, another day. To laugh, to love, to work or play. Task left undone must stay that way. I found that peace at the close of the day. If my parting has left a void, then fill it with remembered joy. We're going to start right there for a minute. If you've lost a loved one in the past or present, and you need to know if he's saved or she's saved, they're going to a place of joy. They're going to a better place, a place where there's no sorrow. But you know, life is a daily stepping, daily walking. You walk into things daily and you walk out of things daily. This is the first minute of the rest of your life right now. You have come into the first day of the rest of your life right now. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to, because you lost a loved one, you're going to grieve? My grieving for my daddy was in joy, to go out and try to win a soul to the Lord. That's what my daddy would have me do. He would not have me over there over a graveyard weeping and crying. He would have me out doing something. And by the way, if you have to go to the graveyard, go over there prepared to talk and console some soul that's over there who does not have the peace within them that you have within you, or that my daddy had within him. It said, a friendship shared, a laugh, a kiss. Oh yes, these things I too will miss. Be not burdened with time of sorrow. I wish you the sunshine of tomorrow. My life's been full. I served much. Good friends, good times, a loved one's touch. Perhaps my time seemed all too brief. Don't lengthen it now with undue grief. Lift up your hearts and share with me. God wanted me now and set me free. If you've lost a loved one in the last near future, you need to hear this epitaph. I'm going to read it quickly through without stopping one more time. It's the epitaph of Howard Hutchins, my father, who went to be with the Lord. He was born in 1912 on August 3rd, and he died April 15th, 1997. And that was my daddy, Howard L. Hutchins. He followed the Lord. And may this be a tribute in heaven to him, and may it help some of you. He said, don't grieve for me. He wrote this himself. Don't grieve for me. I am free. I'm following the path that God laid for me. I took his hand when I heard him call. I turned my back and left it all. I could not stay another day to laugh, to love, to work or play. Task left undone must stay that way. I found that peace at the close of the day. If my parting has left a void, then fill it with remembered joy. A friendship shared, a laugh, a kiss. Oh yes, these things I too will miss. Be not burdened with times of sorrow. I wish you the sunshine of tomorrow. My life's been full, I served much. God's friends, good time, I love one's touch. Perhaps my time seemed all too brief. Don't languish if now with undue grief. Lift up your heart and share with me. God wanted me now, he set me free. Oh, beautiful. Isn't that beautiful? Now I have a poem here by a man named Edward Pollock. I usually read a lot of scripture, but I'm going to read this little poem. 'Twas something in the parting hour will chill the warmest heart. Yet kindred, comrades, lovers, friends, I've fainted all into part. But these I've seen in many a pang has pressed it on my mind. The one who goes in happier than those left behind. No matter what the journey be, adventurous, dangerous, far, to the wild deep, a black future of solitude or war, still something cheers the heart that dares in all of humankind. And they who go are happier than those who are left behind. The bride goes to the bridegroom home with doubting and with tears, but does not hope her rainbow spread across the cloudy fears. Alas, a mother who remains, what comfort can she find? But the gone is happier than the one who leaves behind. Have you a thirsty comrade, an old and valued friend? Be sure your term of sweet conscience all length will have an end. And when you part, and part you will, oh, take it not unkind, if he who goes is happier than that one left behind. God wills is so, and so it is. The pilgrim on their way, though weak and worn, more cheerful are them all the rest who stay. And when at last, poor man, subdued, lies down in death's reign, may he not still be a happier far than those who are left behind. Happier than those who are left behind, that is, and that was by Edward Pollock. And that kind of reminded me to go look at my daddy's excerpt, what he wrote. And my daddy said, I'm happier than you left behind. So he said, don't be unhappy about me going ahead, especially if you know the testimony of that one that has gone on before. God had a reason for them leaving early or earlier than you, even though the grief may feel like it's undue. You don't know what to do with it. And you've got to lay it on the Lord and just believe in him, and what he said is true. I personally am not a man who visits the graveyard often. My daddy's in heaven. We put his body in the grave, but he's in heaven. And therefore, if I want to talk to him, I get in the truck in the morning, look up, say, Dad, if you're looking over the banisters of heaven, I'm doing what you did in your life. I'm following the Lord, and I'm taking it step by step, day by day, as I go.